Are Olaf and Mordekaiser the same person? Now, judging by the title, you might think, how are these two champions even related in any way? Why is this even a connection worth thinking about? But Olaf and Mordekaiser actually have a lot of things in common, but since most of these similarities are discovered in short stories, and Necrit isn't making any League lore videos anymore, it's difficult for regular players to go that far in to learn about champions they probably hate to fight against. So, this is my theory of Olaf and Mordekaiser being the same person. Mordekaiser is actually a lot older than most of you might think. His reign under the title of the Iron Revenant dated back to about 13 to 1500 years ago on the timeline of Runeterra. At least according to Necrit. But this isn't even the first time that Mordekaiser walked the land of the living. In his very first life, he walked Runeterra as a mortal man called Sun Uzal, a warlord of the Northern Wildlands, and his life revolved around death. Not just the death of the people that he would kill in battle, but his own as well. He wanted to have rampaged so hard that he would ensure his place in something called the Hall of Bones, an afterlife for warriors similar to Valhalla from Norse mythology. And after someone finally messed up his perfect KD, he went to something that I will quote directly from his story on the League of Legends universe. Quote, "Yet when he died, he found no halls of glory awaiting him. Instead, Sun Uzal stood in an empty, grey wasteland, shrouded by eternal fog and plagued by discordant whispers. Occasionally, other lost souls drifted nearby, little more than ghostly shapes, wandering their own personal oblivion." End quote. So, lore-wise, Mordekaiser died, saw the death screen for the first time, which is black and white, and got mad that his teammates didn't place wards. Just kidding, that was probably the writers or me projecting on the game, but that quote is legit. Now, Mordekaiser stayed dead for we don't know how long. It could be generations, years, months, but enough time for him to learn the language of the dead and get a degree in architecture. Using the language of the dead, he became an S-tier necromancer and baited others out to resurrect him. He then used his architecture skills to build the Immortal Bastion, the capital of Noxus in the current League lore. And what does he do after all that? The same thing he did last time. Kill a bunch of shit and die. But this time he went out on his own terms. Literally nothing else on the planet could kill him aside from himself. So he got bored of it. He planned his own betrayal and offed himself. But when he did die, do you know where he went to? He went to an army. His army. Every foe slain became a servant, awaiting his arrival in the realm of death. Every citizen that fell under his iron fist is used as brickwork for his bastion in the realm of the dead. No soul truly got their eternal rest after they got slaughtered by Mordekaiser. And as we are now in the present lore of Runeterra, Mordekaiser is still planning his return. But the requirements are not met. Something, or maybe someone, is making sure that the Iron Revenant cannot return to the land of the living. Olaf, the Berserker. This man is the most powerful mortal character in League of Legends, aside from Master Yi, who is just as bullshit in the lore as he is in-game. Olaf's biggest dream in life is to die. But because some old hag prophesied that he's gonna die old, surrounded by friends and family, he was like, nuh-uh. And then the old hag was like, yuh-huh. And this pissed Olaf off so hard that he went out of his way to fight giant sea serpents that are the stuff of nightmares. And he started solo killing them all. After that didn't take him down, he walked over to the tribe most known for violence and slaughter and nearly butchered them all. If it wasn't for Sejuani, their leader, going full health with potions against him and fought him to a standstill. The moment she looked around her and saw the corpses of all her allies, it turns out it's a pretty good resume, and she fucking hired the guy to do more insanely suicidal shit to try and die. She would promise him the death he was looking for, which she still hasn't pulled off. They've been in the game together since 2016, and I'm pretty sure that promise is starting to make her freak the fuck out inside of her head. And now you know about the two characters. So let me tell you why I think these two are the same person. Their obsession with death. Both of them wish to die knowing they did deeds greater than life. They have the same body type. Mordekaiser, in a splash art, is fucking huge compared to the guy next to him. And Olaf has been described by Sejuani as the following. Even on foot, he was easily the biggest Freljordian she had ever seen. The equal of the mounted Sejuani and Urkov in height. Some said Olaf's mother must have lain with a troll to grow so big, but they never said it to his face. And if you look at the official art of Sejuani in the Runeterra game, you can kind of compare her to get a picture of how tall Olaf really would be. Mordekaiser also has this following line.
Twice slain, thrice born.
But the dude only got to walk around Runeterra twice. Once as a living, the second as a revenant. So where did his third life go? Mordekaiser uses souls all the time, forging his mace Nightfall and the brickwork of his castle in his own realm. But what about his own soul? Was it bound to his armor? What really happened to it after he died? Again, is he walking as a soulless being ruling over the afterlife while his own mortal soul still walks the land of the living? Couldn't that be the real reason Olaf cannot die?